that, we welcome your questions. Courtney.
So we have this press release from Quinn here saying that you're hypocritical because you've suggested William Brenton as police commissioner. We're expecting some back and forth between you two today.
I'm glad you're expecting it. Look, I think the bottom line here is that Speaker Quinn is about to vote against a racial profiling bill. So let's talk about hypocrisy. You can't be in favor of fairness in policing and vote against a ban on racial profiling. You can't be in favor of changing and ending the stop and frisk era and keep its architect, Ray Kelly, as police commissioner. So that's about all the hypocrisy we can possibly handle. But I've never said who should be police commissioner. I've only said some people should be interviewed. She has actually said she wants Ray Kelly to be her commissioner, even though he's the architect of the overuse of stop and frisk. Questions? Yes.
Since racial profiling is, as she likes to point out, technically illegal, but police discrimination against LGBT and homeless people is not, why use the rhetoric ban on racial profiling? Why not speak more precisely?
Well, it's obviously a ban on many types of profiling, but the crux of the stop and frisk issue has been about racial profiling. And, I find it ironic for her to say, well, there's laws against racial profiling, and yet those laws are obviously ignored for years and racial profiling continued. We did not have a local law. We do not have a local law that effectively bans racial profiling or the other types of profiling, and we need it. Just any type of profiling is unacceptable. And I've never heard a rationale for why it's acceptable not to have a local ban. There's so many other areas where we pass local legislation to make abundantly clear what the values of this city are, and to make abundantly clear that the law will be enforced. Somehow she's making exception when it comes to profiling against people of color, against the LGBT community, against homeless people, against youth, etc.
So, do you think that Quinn is taking order from the mayor?
Say again?
Taking order from the mayor, Quinn.
Look, Speaker Quinn is Mayor Bloomberg's chief political ally. She has been for years. They're obviously working very closely on these issues. But my biggest complaint is that she is making the wrong decision for the people of this city. Anything else? Yes.
It's pretty well documented that the state court is more likely to be influenced by political considerations than federal court. And when you get into areas of discrimination and lawsuits against the mayor or a police department, there is an argument that says it might be more appropriate to file those lawsuits in federal court, which is more removed politically from the local politics of a mayor, a police commissioner, a city council. How do you address that argument?
I don't accept the premise. I respect the question, but I don't accept the premise of it. I don't think that has been proven, first of all. Second, could we just talk about reality for a moment? Because I think I have a group of folks here who have seen the reality on the ground. Over 4 million stops over years. 90% almost of the folks innocent in every way, shape, or form. So the system failed a huge swath of the city. So you could say, well, there's a federal law and there's federal courts. Did the federal law and the federal courts stop what happened for the last few years?
No.
Were people unfairly stopped
Yes.
over and over again? So it's speech respectfully. I'm trying to answer your question. May I answer your question?
The answer to that is yes.
May I answer your question? If for years and years and years people were treated unfairly and nothing stopped it, something is fundamentally wrong. A justice system that takes years to begin to address people's pain is not working. When we say we need a local ban on racial profiling and all other forms of profiling, it is because it hasn't worked. The status quo hasn't worked. And we need something more and something stronger and something more immediate. So I am convinced that having a local law will strengthen our efforts to stop this type of profiling.
And why shouldn't we be able to have a ban and say it, racial profiling, and stop tiptoeing around it? We should have a ban locally, at the state level, and federally. We should be able to have access to all of it, and not just be pigeonholed and saying nothing wrong here on the local level. The law is there. It is up for a vote today, and the city council should vote to override Mayor Bloomberg's veto of this vitally important bill. The problem is we never want to deal with race. It always makes us uncomfortable. But a ban on racial profiling does it head on. And believe me, a lot of LGBT people, homeless folks that get profiled, number one, they get racially profiled. So let's talk about race. Let's look at it head on. And we should have access to all three levels and not just be confined to the federal courts.
All right.
Yeah.